Hey y'all, I'm your host, Aaron Smith of the Offshore Marine Service Association. Each Friday, I'll bring you the Offshore Briefing, a quick rundown of the week's notable developments, updates, and news you need to know in the offshore space. Whether you're on deck or at your desk, we're glad you're here. Welcome everybody to the Offshore Briefing by Maritime in America. As always, I'm your host, Aaron Smith, and here with me are my co-hosts, Ashley Smith and Angel Johnson. How are y'all doing?
I am just lovely on this beautiful sunny day.
Yes, I'm doing really good. My presentation is over, so I'm really happy about that.
Woo-hoo!
Yes, Angel and I were at the MTSDP conference last year, or yesterday. Or I
Last
don't know
year.
why I said last
Last
year.
year.
It seemed like a year ago. And Angel did just an absolute great job. Very well received. Everyone was very impressed with the data she provided and just how she was able to present it with complete command of the information and very
And actual information that was helpful and useful.
Yes, exactly. Lots of conversations with people after that this information was very useful and very good. And hopefully there were lots of discussions about maybe a change in venue for next year's MTSDP conference. Hopefully maybe bring it a little bit closer to home. We don't always need to be in the energy corridor. I mean, Katy is beautiful this time of year, but we don't always need to be.
So I texted Angel morning of, good luck. You're going to knock it out of the park. And you know how normally they say, I got that saying right, by the way, y'all. Normally, everyone says, picture your audience naked and it'll help you. And I was going to do that too. And then I was like, wait, that's way too awkward to be off.
Yeah. No one wants to see that.
No one.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, great. And just bringing us great topics. So looking,
I was like, speaking of great topics, do you want Angel and I to do ours first?
yes, why don't you two flip a coin?
Yeah, I'll go first because I'm the loudest. I've got some really important things to discuss today. The first being PSA for everyone to get their flu shot. Aaron told me not to say it, but I'm saying it anyway. Also, if you do get the fluza is the best medicine. Okay, got that out of the way with his eye rolls. My second very important maritime topic is I would like to take a moment of silence for Diane Keaton. I was literally heartbroken when I found out she passed away. I mean, I just think of all the wonderful movies. Like, I feel like it's like my First Wives Club. I mean, just heartbroken. So I just wanted a moment of silence for Diane Keaton.
I'm really sorry that we don't put these on video so y'all can see my face right now, just staring and wondering what we're doing.
She died of pneumonia, not to bring it back to the flu shot.
You realize this is the Offshore Briefing about offshore topics.
She was, and you know what she
Offshore.
said? In lieu of
Maritime in America.
Her family wants everyone to donate money towards pet rescue.
Well, does that go to your second?
Yes, because usually cats are found in shipyards. So see, it all goes back to the maritime.
I don't know if I've ever seen a shipyard without a cat act.
So see?
You're right. Angel, please help us here. What do you have this week?
Okay, so I have my true crime story. I have looked it over. There has been a small update. So, Hijacker, this is the title. Hijacker in mysterious Arctic sea case has been captured after 16 years. Okay, I'm going to put in my true crime story voice. Okay. In 2009, the cargo ship Arctic Sea left Finland with 1.8 million in lumber, bound for Algeria. But just days later, as it sailed through Swedish waters, something strange happened. A group of men in a rubber boat reportedly boarded off the vessel of Gotland and then just vanished. For a week, everything seemed normal. The Arctic Sea kept broadcasting its signal and chatting over the radio as if nothing happened. On July 30th, it went silent near France, and then the ship disappeared. Russia reacted fast, too fast for a simple hijacking. The Navy deployed 5 warships to hunt down the missing freighter, and on August 17th, they found it thousands of miles away off Cape Verde. The crew was alive, 8 men, Estonian,
Latvian.
Latvian, yes, and Russian nationalists were arrested. But what they claimed, Sun investigators, they said they weren't hijackers at all, just stranded environmentalists whose boat had ran out of fuel, and that the Arctic Sea's captain had taken them hostage. The court didn't buy it, and all of them went to prison. However, they were interrogated again and then released under a gag order and then instructed to never talk about their experience. A ransom was never confirmed. However, the ship owner claimed that they never received a ransom demand. The ship's Russia-based insurers said that they did receive the demand, and it was for about $2 million. Also, the ship's real cargo remains a mystery, as some believe it carried more than lumber, possibly illegal Russian arms, and that the supposed hijackers were actually interceptors. A senior Russian Navy officer confirmed his account to Kosmoskal Prava at the time, quoting, "I think that if Arctic Sea's journey had been successful, Russia could have ended up in a huge international scandal." The officer said, "We caught the boat to make sure we didn't end up in a nasty situation." Now, these suggestions were not welcomed by the Russian government, and the one Russian journalist who reported on the story had to flee the country after receiving threats for his coverage. Now, 16 years later, the last fugitive who was tied to the case, a Russian-Israeli man, he was wanted since the hijacking in 2009. He was finally caught. He walked off a cruise ship in Cyprus without hiding who he was, and authorities arrested him on the spot. So this man is being held pending extradition hearings to determine if he can be sent to Russia to stand trial. Additionally, Russian authorities have charged a former Estonian spy chief with organizing the hijacking, further complicating the narrative. So what happened aboard the Arctic Sea has never been proven, only that it sailed into one of the strangest, most secretive hijackings in modern maritime history.
You know what they're carrying?
That's the
Aliens,
end
I
of the
bet.
story.
No,
Yep.
totally arms. But I mean, what do I always
What
put?
if the aliens had the
What do I
arms?
always put on these stories in Friday Fastbacks? Wave the Jones Act, they said.
I
It will be
know.
fine, they said.
Shit
This
like
is
this is gonna. I
yeah.
mean, stuff like this is gonna
When
happen.
you outsource your maritime industry, this is who you're outsourcing it to.
That whole story is a bunch of WTFs.
Right.
This is what happens when you outsource your maritime. This is the
Aliens and
rest.
arms get through.
Not aliens. You're like that one guy on the History Channel. It's aliens, dude. Like, no, it's not. But
Okay.
no, this is what happened. This is who is behind the rest of the maritime industry. Shady Russian figures and groups
Wow.
backed by groups that you don't want to be engaged with. That's
Scary is happening
And
out
if
there.
that ship was to come to the States, guess what? It wouldn't be checked. It
Nope.
wouldn't have a security
Nope.
plan. It wouldn't have a cybersecurity
Nope.
plan.
Yeah. But please, we need more
Because
security.
it's not a U.S. vessel.
That's
Yes.
wild.
Yes. But
Aaron,
that
do you have something actually for us today?
yes, I do. Two updates regarding the shutdown, the government shutdown, which I would say, if Brett Manley and David Martin are listening from Elevate, both of their predictions on the shutdown were wrong. We're past both of them now. And I think the latest update is probably end of the month. The Coast Guard National Maritime Center did issue Update 2 to their release on the mitigation efforts to mitigate efforts from the shutdown. Because unlike what some publications have published, that there are no impacts to the maritime industry because of the government shutdown, that is absolutely false. There
And
are.
crazy to say.
Yes, the fact that a maritime publication published that is ridiculous. Maybe they should talk to some mariners. But the Coast Guard has said that MMCs for national endorsements only and medical certificates for national and pilots that expired during the government shutdown will remain valid until the end of the year, December 31 of this year. This goes then on the other extensions that were also issued regarding approval to test letters, anything like that. So, and what they've been instructed to do is to carry a copy of their expired credential and a copy of the attached letter. You can find the letter on the National Maritime Center's website, and that will provide a what evidence that they are in good standing. Now, I would say again, this is for national endorsements. The Coast Guard always says that if you guys remember the pandemic or the last government shutdown, they always say, "Oh, well, we can't extend STCW." Then we go through a period of about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Then they find a magical way to extend STCW. So we're in that magical period where they look for the magical solution and consult their, whatever they consult within government or within Coast Guard headquarters, probably some sort of like gnome or something they keep in the back. But we'll have to wait for STCW. I'm fairly confident they'll find a way to do it. We got to go through this period first. So that's what's going on. I would say another update that I was glad to see on the government shutdown is that 2 days ago, Secretary Nome announced that Coast Guard will be receiving paychecks during the government shutdown. They're moving monies around from the One Big Beautiful Bill, stupid name.
But funny.
They are moving that monies around to pay. The quote is that they are with military pay to fight illegal aliens. The Coast Guard has been defending our maritime borders, stopping the flow of deadly narcotics and illegal immigration into the country and Americans' adversaries. So Coast Guard is receiving paychecks. It's the actual release goes more than the press release, that it's not just for the interdiction efforts, it seemingly for all efforts. So that is good. Despite how much we disagree with Coast Guard and gently criticize their decisions, they should be being paid.
Yeah, and we
So,
respect their job, and
yes.
they're doing. I mean, absolutely.
Exactly. So I did want to just make that update because while it doesn't necessarily affect us, it is,
It affects our friends.
they are our partners, and we don't want to see them adversely impacted by this. So those were the two updates. Also, AMSA members, check your emails for the latest release that we put out on cybersecurity.
Yep. It is
We
it
put
is a
in
brief on CP5. I get this stuff. CP5
5TC
5PC policy letter 10105.
01-2.
25. Yes. It's just so stupid. I'm like, why do you have to have so many numbers and so many letters?
Well, and you just always have to remember to put what you would think to be the qualifier goes at the end,
I
not at the
know.
beginning.
Correct. Anywho, I did a deep dive into that and then tried to just provide the updates from the final rule. And it's all about training. And
Yes.
so we've got a lot of great information out there. And again, we are working on training and providing training for AMSA members. So we're working on doing an initial training for everyone, as well as a quote unquote key personnel training for everyone.
Yeah.
So AMSA members, be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. And if you want more information, consult the release that we sent out.
Or email Ashley. Yeah.
Yep. Or just email Ashley to get another copy. And also, AMSA members can always check Master Regulatory News on our website to find that information.
Yep.
All right.
And also, while we were at the conference, I did get a lot of people asking me about our upcoming events, as they were super excited about it, about our happy hour.
Yeah, Golf Tournament Friday, November 7th. We've got great turnout. Looking for some more cooking sponsors. Hit me up if you want that. We have our conference November 11th, great speakers. That is also on our website with cocktails afterwards at the Westin. I've got a beautiful room overlooking the river. Should be fun. And then our happy hour is Wednesday, December 3rd. Keen Miller has partnered with us to sponsor, looking for other sponsors. Email me, Ashley Smith, with that as well.
Yeah, I heard a few people wanted to sponsor that.
Yay. Okay, good.
Yep. We'll get.
And remember that happy hour is for AMSA members, sponsors and their guests, and new members that want to get to know us. If you have been coming to this happy hour and freeloading off of us over these years, while I love you and I love hanging out with you, I am not letting you back in anymore. Nice Ashley, if she ever existed, is gone.
Call him out.
And I'm very strict as well.
Call
No,
him out.
I'm not calling him out.
Call him out.
I'm not.
Come on, do it.
I can't.
Do it.
I will.
Do
I
it.
will as I get closer. But I'm just saying.
1,
I'm
2,
legit.
3, do it.
No.
Yeah.
You
right.
know, they know who they are.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate everyone joining in. If you want any more information on these topics, consult Friday Fast Facts, consult our website, or call or email all of us.
And get your flu shot and donate to your humane society.
Gosh, we need to put the useless information at the end. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Happy
week.
Friday.
Be safe.
That wraps up another episode of Maritime in America. We're proud to highlight the voices and stories that keep the American offshore industry strong. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and remember, the course ahead is shaped by those who step up and steer it. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Tune in every Friday for your offshore briefing, and don't miss our next full episode, dropping soon with a very special guest, Mariner's Perspective. Catch you next time.